Hello, everybody, and welcome to the last episode and also the final video of the Olympiad Recap 2024 in Budapest, Hungary. So, as you know, the last episode was my game against GM Luke Machine, who was, I think, formerly known as the world's strongest amateur player, right? So, we drew Team England at the end of the day, as I won. The first two boards drew, but our fourth boards unfortunately lost against GM Alan Jones. So, after round 4, as you can see here, so it is the standing. After a good start, as we win it in the first 5 games, right? We had 4 games in a row where we couldn't win at all. Game 6, we drew against Team China. Game 7, lost against Team Iran, 1/2 to 2.5. Game 8, we drew Team Norway of Magnus. And game 8, game 9, we drew Team Alan as well. So, now we reach game 10, where we will meet Team Spain. So, against Team Spain, I will play against GM Alan Pichot. First of all, so I'm sorry, Pichot, or somebody who knows if I may mispronounce your name, because I try many times, and I also hear that people call you Pichot or Pichot, I don't know, but I am definitely trying my best. So I'm sorry in advance if I made a wrong pronunciation. So I play GM Alan Pichot in bot 3, and I was quite pissed. I was in a good form. But one main thing is that I start feeling somewhat tired. It's like it is round 10, right? And I was the only person of my team who didn't take any break at all. And most of my games only finish after like 7:30, and I only went back to the hotel at like 8:30. So obviously, as a result, I felt somewhat tired, right? So now it's round 10. We met Team Spain. The pairing should be like, so my our first board, Limley, will play with GM David Anton. Board 2 is his valid opponents, play against my teammate Tronsan. Board 3 is me against Pichot. And board 4, my teammate Mintron against, I think, GM Jaime Santos Larasa from Spain. So, GM Pichot is also having a very good event so far. I'm pretty sure he was undefeated before this game and also have a very good performance. Once again, another hard game, right? Let's get to the game. So in the game, d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, the Neither Indian, bishop b4, knight f3, castles, bishop g5. So I was more or less inspired by the game, I think, between GM Kirill Shevchenko against GM Sir Wesley in the Olympiad as well too. I think in round 8 or round 9, something like that. I saw it live. And they play like c5, I think so. And the main line, I think, is something like rook to c1, h6, h4, here, queen a5, I believe. No, I think it's like, is it a thing? I don't know. I mean, I think I don't know, this is sort of one. I'm sure the main is, this is d5. d5 here, I think it's d5 here. So cd5, g5, here it is. g3, queen d5, and e3, queen a2. This is what featured in the game between Kirishchenko against Wesley So. Pretty complicated, but it turned out to be a draw. So obviously I want to go for the win, so I did have some preparation in the line, but I will just not tell that out because I think at some point I will use it again, right? At some point. So in the game he played d5, which is also a completely fine variation, and the game get back to something I call that the opposite. So e3 in the game, e3, c5. So in the game I knew the main line here is cd5, like here, and this, but then I somewhat forgot the theory and the game was quite unsure, so decided to deviate a little bit. I played dc5 first, which I guess is not the right choice. d7, once again, c5 here is the only move. Now it is the only choice. Here the main lines are here, rook c1, I think so. So I think it's like h6, h4, queen a5. Now I knew the main line, but once again, I'm not going to reveal that out. So in the game, I play rook c1, which was a mistake. Knight c5, and now black managed to full equalize it. So here a3 is not so good because he can just take on c3 and knight e4 with a very annoying threats. So I didn't play that. I play cd5 here relatively quickly. But here sadly, I missed queen d5 completely, which was troublesome. I only saw ed5 or knight e4, which I think both can end up in like a good professional game for me. But this one was what I completely forgot. Take here is impossible. And here the set new is that take here also knight e5, and this pressure along this diagonal will be very annoying. Bishop is misplaced, and the main problem is that my pawn structures will be badly damaged. So at this point, I know that I need to play bishop f6 here. Only choice: d1, d1, the bishop, and bishop c4. The thing here are relatively simple. I need to get pieces out, right? If not, his bishop pair here will start, showing its presence, and I'm in trouble. a3 is what I also considered, but he can just, I think, take here, rook to d8, and this one can become annoying as hell. For instance, king to e2, king to c1, for instance, right? Knight to e4, rook c2 and e5, and I don't like my position at all. Maybe the engine think it is somewhat equal, or I am only slightly worse, but this is definitely not what I want to see. So in the game, I play bishop c4 here first. My intention was to get my king to e2, rook d1. But the main problem is that I need time for that. And my opponent didn't allow me to do the things. So in the game was play king e2. So here I thought for a while and a long time. I realized that it was worse, not better at all. Here my bishop is somewhat hanging, and he can try to get his rook to the file. For instance, I will show you the sample line. Rook a8, right? Rook to d1, this one is not good because he can just play like a6. And now my pieces are somewhat stuck. a3 takes, knight a4, and now my pieces are hanging for sure. For instance, rook c2, boom! And this, I think I can think about resigning TBH because b3 allow knight c3 when this material, or to take here first and this one later on, right? So here I'm in some sort of trouble. I want to show you the sample lines first. But then here, I guess the main differences is like where and which rook to choose. This one. In the game, he played rook a8, which for me is quite a human move. Rook c8 in the game, I already saw as well, it's like the best engine choice, and it's the best as well too, because it kind of avoid what happened in the game. But here, I don't know, maybe I would need to play like rook d1, I think so. Bishop c3, like bishop here, I guess, bishop d3. And here you can see as well, right? When black clearly is better due to bishop pair and some sorts of, I think, like maybe some annoying play later on. In the game, he played rook a8 in the game, which is, I think, also fine. So once again, I'll show you a sample line. a3, takes, and knight e4, right? Which literally see the same thing. In the meantime, I couldn't chase the bishop away, and he just wanted to take here knight a4, right? b3 is also bad because of a6, and b5 is incredibly annoying. Bishop is somewhat restricted, isn't it? So this is annoying as hell. I saw some other candidate moves. Bishop b5 is also fine according to the engine, but don't like it because here, for instance, right? Takes. The engine thing, it is roughly equal, but for me, I don't like my position at all. This pawn is always a weakness, and here I think black is the one who can obviously push. in the event, not only I don't want to defend this position, but also I was in a good form, right? I was quite confident. I came to the game with the mindset of beating and random opponent. I don't want to go for a draw. So I take some risk. Knight b5. Best engine move. In fact, if he play rook f to c8, he is fine here. Because rook f c8, knight b5 is not working because he can simply play knight a4. And I can't take on a7, right? And now you got two threats. This, and they are all very annoying. But if you play here, I play here, right? If you play like me here, I take a pawn here, and in the game, I did see that I was completely fine here. So, play a6 here first, then d6, rook c6, and here I miscalculated sadly. Here, so which do you want to play? b5. So here, the only way here to get equality in the game I miss is a3. bc4, I saw this line. ab4, knight to d3. Rook c4, I saw this. Rook d6. Rook g4, rook d3 first. I saw this line, but I only see bishop b5 here. But it means that I get this intermediate check, which give me full equality. In the game, I missed that. So I went wrong here. Knight b5. Question mark. Sadly, this one is a wrong. And also, I think, a mistake. Not just inaccuracy, but a mistake by me. Knight b5 indeed. I remember my opponent stared at me with a very strange look. It was like, what the hell is this? Something like that. So here, bishop b5. So now I count on the fact that here his pieces are somewhat hanging in the file, right? For instance, here, boom, and we are up 2 pawns. And for instance, if you play like rook c8, I play here, and we're up 2 pawns again. So the thing looks good first. In the game, he played rook c7, missing my idea. Here he plays so quick, but if he spend some more time on the clock, I'm sure he can find the best move here. Rook d6 exclamation mark. The move that I certainly missed during my calculation. Because take here, he play here, right? With checks. And now I am in huge trouble. In fact, I can resign here at this point. Also, if I play bishop d7, take rook d7 here, and once again, I'm down material, right? Rook c5 here. The trick that works in the game doesn't work here. Because he just can play bishop c5, bishop d7, takes, and now I got pinned in the file, right? And I'm down a full rook. So here I must find the move, which is rook d7, knight d7, rook d7 here first, a3. This one I think is objectively the only choice here to play. But then here, right, rook d1, bishop a5, b4, and then knight to a4 exclamation mark. Which I don't know. I'm quite sure that I'm worse here. Maybe I have some counterplay with the 2 pawns, but I need to defend. I think super tough to defend and super tough to hold this one, right? And I think if play here, I'll be in huge trouble. Luckily for me, he played here, which is a mistake as well. So my plan now worked out well. Takes, and rook c5. If he takes here, I can take here, and I believe that this one I will be able to have some good play, and it's not easier for him to play. Although the engine thing is equal, it's not easy for him to take these pawns, and these pawns can become some strong passers, right? Which can give me some adequate chances. So in the game, he take here, c5, rook b7, rook h5. Now my rook can run away. I get 2 pawns here for the... no. A rook, a knight and 2 pawns for the rook, which is equal in material, right? And also, his pawns here can be a weakness. The main issue here is that my C file and D file are somewhat weak and he can try to invade. So I must be somewhat careful. F5 in the game, A4. Defend the bishop here, and also trying to make sure he cannot put pressure here as well. So, as you can see on the screen, the engine evaluates this as equal or fully equal. But for me, it is not easy to play for him at all, because it's not easy for him to really invade on my big rank. And in the meantime, if I can push these pawns here, I can make that become passers. He will have a hard time defending against those. I also want to play like h3, g4, trying to get rook back to the game. And I think this is easier for me. At this point of the game, I was pretty sure I'd try to go for the win. Before keep talking about the game, I must spend time to talk about my teammates' games as well. At this point, the second board was a draw between my teammate Trongson and Valentapons. Board 4 was tough. My teammate Mintran must defend his position for the whole game, but then when Santos Larasa just played so quickly and he missed a chance to get on edge, somehow my teammate survived, and I saw he was relieved. My teammate Limley in first board was kind of winning against David Anton, up on time with, I think, a pretty good position. At this point, I still felt pretty good. So in the game, rook c8, d4, defend against one right. Rook e7, b3, ready to play bishop c4, and trying to set up a barrier. Let's say for instance, right bishop here and bishop here when we exchange, right? So we couldn't play that, so let's play here. I can play here. And now I think I already can think about more than a draw. Obviously, my rook here is somewhat misplaced, but this one is almost on the card, right? I think I must play here, I guess, which may be somewhat equal. But once again, I think I can surely be able to keep on pushing. So it's not so clear eventually. That's why in the game, we play rook c1, invading first before I block the file. h3, execute my idea, f6, g4. So this one was quite unclear. In the game, he thought for a while, and he took on g4, which for me, I thought this was an accuracy. From what I can remember, I was pretty sure that at this point of the game, I was very worried about king g7. When my rook is caged, and will have a hard time get out. But then, luckily for me, I did find f3, and then knight g5, and my pieces can go out. For instance, play like here, right? So I can play bishop c4 here. If you play here, for instance, I play knight to g5, I guess, and here knight e4. My rook will get out eventually, and will do well. I'm sorry that I start speaking a bit fast. We'll slow down right now. So here, king g7, I think is what really concerned me in the game. But I didn't play it. Hit to the pawn. My rook now can think more going out. h4, d4, take here, c2. So this one, I think, is a crucial moment of the game. First of all, I must tell you another news, that at this point, my teammate Liam Lee lost in the first board. He was better, he was close to winning, but then he was so hasty, he blundered a brilliancy with a nice sacrifice from David Anton, and he ended up losing. My teammate number 4 obviously can never win, so myself, need to try my best to go for the win, right, to save my team. So here, I understand that he wants to go for my pawns. King to d3, keep pawn away, right? King to e3, keep the pawn away as well too. Kf3 is the same. King e1 will see my king got blocked. which definitely is what I want to do. So in the game, I spend a long time on this move here, and I just go for some hope chess. King d3. This basically is hope chess. As you can see, right? I have 50 minutes right here, but then after this move, I just had 1 minute left. So this is just hope chess. f2, a5. Starting, push the pawn. Here my plan is that rook a2 here, I can play something like bishop c4, and already push my pawn here, right? Which can become very annoying. So in the game, f5. My opponent also rushed to create a passer. But in the meantime, this pawn is weak. Rook c4, g4, g5, f7, to the pawn, middle play here first, a6. Here, so most the rook moves should be equal. Like I think, for instance, rook to b6, rook here, rook a2, and take here, right? When it is, I think, completely equal. But I guess that he was worried about rook a5 when the game looks somewhat complex, right? I mean, the time is down for both sides, so it's hard to blame things, right? Rook here was a mistake. Into the pawn, f6, b4 first. Now my pawn are starting to go up. Rook e4 is the engine configuration, but once again, our time is ticking down. Rook e4 in the game, b4 in the game, sorry. f3, king d2, get the king back home, make sure my king is safe. King f5 in the game, h4, put pressure on this pawn, and king here, rook e4, right? So king here, e4. And what's one time in this, actually is what the engine will claim that I'm winning. Rook c7, bishop to d3. At this point of the game, I must admit that I felt very confident. I knew it was better. The idea to play b5, b6 here is very, very strong and hard to be stopped. Rook f2. So here in the game, I think I went wrong. It is move 40. I went for a relatively wrong plan. If I play here, it's going to be easy win for me. Because right now, my idea is simple. To the pawn and push this, right? He cannot stop it. The idea in the game will not be working indeed. But then he up to rook e2 quickly. Thought that the rook trade is enough for me to win. f4. Okay. So now I get more time on the clock. So here the simplest way to win is to repeat. Right? And to go for the same plan. But I found something else. Which right now I still don't understand why I don't see things at this point. But I just can tell that here, so I start feeling some pressure because I was in a must-win situation. My brain got somewhat tired. I mean, I don't really want to blame for the exhaustions. I don't want to blame for other things. I still admit that I didn't play well here and misconverted. But still, I misplay here at this point. e4, f1, and now there's some tricks. b5, for instance, rook a1 is what I don't see clearly enough. Now he can just go rook a5, rook a2, and some tricks here will not be so simple to deal with. So in the game, we don't like this one at all. So b7, I play in the game, b7, rook a1. Okay, so here, let's show you some tricks that I find in the game. I don't like it at all. First of all, b5. It's not fun because I get rook c4. It's not in the game. King d3, rook b4, and this pawn is in huge trouble. And I think it can't even get captured. This is here, takes, and this one is also available, right? When I will lose both pawns. King d3, rook d4 is the same, as mentioned earlier. So I don't like it. But king d3, he can just, I mean, like, you can just, but okay, I mean, I'll talk king d3 later on. Here, the best way to win is rook e5. I saw it, but I don't know. I don't understand why in the game didn't play well actually. Like even now, I don't know why, to be honest. So I calculate king f4, rook c5. Rook a5 here is garbage because the rook to b1, and a7 run into perpetual check, right? So couldn't play that. But I think rook c5 is what I did calculate in the game. When rook c5 here is winning for me because take here and my pawn now just promotes, right? So Mr. Rook d7, when king c3 here gives me a huge edge. Here for instance, takes, and I can just go rook a5 right now, when the win should be somewhat trivial. But in the game, I even now don't understand why I don't go for this move. I saw that, but I miscalculated something. I don't even know. So in game king a3, I'm sure when I take a look at the game, the engine get this two question mark. Wait, 3 in the game. Now we both misplay the position here at this point. He didn't defend well. I convert like crap, and okay, king e4, rook c4, b5 push the pawn, b4 in the game, bishop here defend the pawn as well, g6 here. So rook h2 I think will be easy for me, but here I just get so confident. I thought I was winning here, which was right, but it was not as easy as I thought. So f2, king e7, rook h2, b1. So here I will go to where I was winning and I miss it. Here, king e7. So first of all, he couldn't go king to d6 because of a very fun mate, right? So let's play king f6. Check here. If you play here, I win a pawn. So he played king e7. Okay. So here, let me show you the win. The engine indicates that there's a win here, but it's not easy to be seen. King e5. First of all, try to dominate the king and go for the checks. Rook e3 is forcing because rook e1, bishop e4, and he can resign right now. Because right now this pawn can start pushing and the checks here are inevitable. So rook e3 is the main thing here I need to calculate. King f4. Rook a3 again, defend a pawn. Rook h7 exclamation mark. I couldn't go rook to h1 because if you play here, just take. His king can be in time to reach the defense. So rook here first, right? King f6. Rook h1 exclamation mark. Because right now, if you trade the rook here, my pawn are quick enough. Here and b6, and now we win the game easily. So the main line is rook b4, b4. Once again, chase, forcing. King e7, and now a7 wins from me. Finally, I managed to promote because take here, play here, right? In the game, I missed this one fully. I was tired and it was at the late time of the game, so it is what it is, right? So I play here right away, which is a huge blunder. In the game, I only calculate this, king g4, rook g1, king h4, when I did think I was fine. Rook a2, king h3, rook g8, I think I see this, and then I will play like b6, you know, but then I mess it up on. In fact, this is also a draw with perpetual. In the game, I don't even see things coming, you know, but he can play something simpler. f1, king g4, and rook a7. When now the checks is stupid, right? And I can't win anymore. I offer him a draw, which he gladly accepts. And his team won at the end of the day. 2.5 to 1.5. So first of all, before making a conclusion about the event, I must say that, you know, it was the time when I got tired here, I misplayed it, and the chance disappeared, right? If I win this game, I can think about like these silver medal and bot 2, or my team can do better, or maybe I can even reach 200 in the event as well. But we missed the chance, which is the main problem, right? But it's how it is. So after this game, my team just have lost against team Spain in round 10. You can see as well, right? And here it is. In the final game, I beat, I think, an IM from Canada. I think his name is like, I think Raja Panchwani or something like that. Here it is with white pieces. And I finished the event with a massive rating count, 33.7. And I won bronze medal in board 3, which you can see the picture right here as well. So here it is, right? It is the picture right here as well too. Pretty handsome and good looking, isn't it? So it is the Olympiad recap for you guys. I know it is late right now and it is somewhat inappropriate to make the recap 2 weeks after the event finish, but later is the better than never, right? And I still want to tell you about the event, about what happened in the playing hall, and about, some nice stories as well too. Finally, it was a nice event for me. I was able to meet Magnus, meet Fabi, take picture with those, meet plenty of friends over the world, represent my team in such an event, won bronze medal in board 3 for the first time playing in the Olympiad, and own a nice thing. Once again, thank you guys for hearing, for listening. Thank you everyone, thank you Vietnam team for such an event I will never forget. Thank you Budapest for hosting what an incredible tournament, and thank you everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, you enjoy the recap, and please feel free to give me any feedbacks. Thank you, and see you in another maybe content later on. Peace.